Okay, let's move into our naturally inspired moment for today. Such an important topic. What is and what isn't strength? That's what I want to talk about today, because I think especially Gen Xers, like, we got a little mixed up when it comes to what is strength and what isn't, just because of the way, the time we were raised in, running around the streets by ourselves, taking care of ourselves, parenting ourselves, pretty much. Pretty much. I mean, they fed us. Yeah, they put clothes on us and stuff. They gave us a house key. But other than that, I mean, if you got more than that, then hey, you were lucky. But from most Gen Xers that I know, that's kind of how we were raised. I don't know if our parents did. They just didn't know. It's just the time that we were being raised in. So as a result of that, I think that strength has been, it's a thing that we carry around with us. And we need to understand what it is and what it isn't. So most people confuse strength with control, thinking it means never bending or showing emotion. But real strength is trusting enough to release control, letting faith lead when fear wants to tighten its grip. So hardness is a shell. It's not a sign of strength. Hardness protects, but it also isolates. So true strength doesn't come from a clenched jaw or a cold heart. It comes from staying soft, open, and kind. I hate to even use that word now. In fact, I won't. What do I want to say instead of kind? Empathetic, reasonable, relatable, compassion. Even after being hurt, if you can still show those things towards other people after being hurt, that's a sign of strength. Real strength stays rooted in values, not approval. So when you stay aligned with your principles, even when it costs you comfort, friends, being liked, that's strength. It's the courage to choose integrity over image. And it's choosing peace over performance as well. That's real strength. Strength looks like gentleness in action. So it's being calm when chaos calls for reaction. Doesn't mean not responding. It means responding with calmness when everything around you is chaotic. I mean, if you take anything from this naturally inspired moment today, try practicing calmness and inserting it into situations in your life and circumstances in your life. It's like a superpower. You can walk into places if you really prepare for calmness for the day. I was talking about this with somebody this morning about transcendental meditation and how I've never been a big, person for meditation, because if you tell me not to think about something, then immediately I'm thinking about everything. I mean, I can recall memory from when I was 5. If you tell me not to don't think about anything. Yeah, right away. It's like thought. So I've never been somebody that connected to the term meditation, but I found transcendental meditation, and that's a little bit different of a technique. I liken it to diving underwater when your bucket is full and you just feel like you can feel it in your nervous system. Problem solving for other people in your family that you love, and just like all the burdens of life, right? They fill your bucket up. And especially when you are a Gen Xer that's kind of been in service your whole life. And that's kind of been like part of your identity, is like serving other people. Because so many of us, I think just because of the way we grew up, being independent, we became servers of everybody else. Because it's like, hey, man, I do it myself. And And also, this is what every person needs, but Gen X especially doesn't like to recognize that we need it because it feels like weakness. It feels like weakness. I want to say that again. It feels like weakness, but it's not. It's not weakness to allow someone else to serve you. I've actually been saying this to my clients lately because there's so many of us that feel guilty about being served. I'm saying to them, allow me to serve you. Like, let me serve you. You're serving everybody else. You're taking care of your aunt. You're taking care of your grandma. You're taking care of your kids, your full-grown kids. Even still, you're problem solving for them, which I get it. I have full-grown kids too, and I don't think it's a switch you can turn off. But doesn't mean that you don't need to be served yourself and that you deserve it. That's the key thing. You deserve it. So try practicing the calmness thing, bringing calm into chaos. I'm telling you, in today's world, it's a superpower. Walk into a coffee shop that's crazy and manic. You can hear all the conversations going around you. Manic, 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 blah, 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 right? Just walk in with the calmness. It's a game changer. And really, like, what else is there to be but calm? Your mania, it doesn't fix anything. It just puts more gas on the fire. Now, it's easier said than done, right? To actually truly experience calmness. You've got to have some anchors. You've got to get out in nature to fill your bucket up so that you can even retrieve calmness to exhibit in the world. So you got to get your feet in the ground. You got to spend some time with animals. They are such a great model for this because they encounter fight or flight, right? Something spooks them. They feel like, oh, I don't know what that is. And they freak out for a little bit. And then 30 seconds later, they're like completely fine. It's a good example for us to follow. That's not how we are. We ruminate on things, right? That shouldn't have happened. Oh, traffic, like we just keep going on and on with it. And every time we amp ourselves up, we're pulling out of our calmness, right? So just by like choosing calmness and filling that bucket up with things like transcendental meditation, I tell you, it's like diving in underwater. You know, when you dive in underwater, it's all quiet. You can still hear everything, but it's muted. And there's like a freeness in it because you feel weightless. You stay there for a while. And when you come up out of the water, you feel kind of refreshed, right? And you have a new take on the things that you're hearing. That's transcendental meditation. That's what it does for you. It allows you to go, quote, underwater, get some peace, feel weightless. And then when you come up, it's weird because you're just like more equipped to bring calmness into situations. So a practice of that every day. And maybe the meditation isn't for you, and that's totally fine. It's just one tool. It's also nature does that, right? Number 5, nature's example is resilience, not resistance. Resilience, not resistance. The tree that bends in the storm survives. The one that resists breaks. And that's what I'm talking about when I say, that control part of it, right? The first principle that I was talking about here was strength isn't control. It's surrender with faith. So your faith is your bend. If you're a tree, right, and you're able to bend in the storms, and then the storm's over, and boop, you're back up, right? That's your ability to bend. Is your faith. You got to work at your faith, right? You got to practice your faith. You've got to take that time to connect to faith, in order to build your bend for the storms, for the chaos, in order to be the peace in those chaotic situations. And let me just reiterate that peace is not weakness. It doesn't mean passiveness. It doesn't mean you give in or whatever. Take a knee. That's not peace. Peace is strength and your ability to not lose it during chaotic times. It's your calmness. Very difficult to curate, but you get better at it every year. And I feel like 50 might be the door that kicks in the peace. Like literally, I think you hit 50 and then you just boot the door down. Okay, I'm here. I'm going to be peace now. I think it's because you need the peace in order to step into who you're truly supposed to be for the rest of your life. When we're in our 20s and 30s, 40s even, we're raising kids, we're running from here to there, we're doing all these things that we think we have to do to keep our life together. And then our kids grow up and they start their own lives, and you got a lot more time to focus on yourself. And I think that's very meaningful. Like, I don't know. I feel like my 50s are actually my new 30s, because now I did what I was supposed to do. I stayed home with my kids. I raised them. I'm so grateful I did. I'm so grateful I did. And now I'm going to bring even more meaning to my life by assisting other people. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. I'm so glad you're here. We have another hour to go. Stay tuned.